Marty Cohn, and welcome to episode 10 of Rotary Cares, a monthly show that answers every question you could possibly have about Rotary International. Rotary is a global network of over 1.2 million friends, neighbors, leaders, and problem solvers that come together to make positive, lasting change in communities, at home, and abroad. Established over 110 years ago, Rotary now has over 35,000 members all over the club, all over the world. Sorry, that's 35,000 clubs all over the world. Either way, it's a lot of people. Rotary's motto is service above self, and Rotarians adhere to a four-way test, a nonpartisan and non-sectarian ethical guide for Rotarians to use in their professional and personal lives. The test has been translated in over 100 languages, and Rotarians recite it at club meetings. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? In Brattleboro, there are two Rotary clubs. The Brattleboro Rotary Club, that was established in 1950 and meets every Thursday for lunch at the American Legion, and the Brattleboro Sunrise Rotary, that was established in 1985 and meets every Wednesday over breakfast at the American Legion. Our guests today are Bill Vermouth, president of the Brattleboro Rotary Club, and Marcy Caulkins, president of the Brattleboro Sunrise Rotary Club. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you, Marty. It's nice to be here.
I got to start off by saying, you were on episode 8, and you were at that time talking about gift giving, and now you're coming back a few episodes later, and you're president. Congratulations. I'm sure your appearance did a lot for your campaign for the presidency.
It was a tough campaign, and I'm sure that the episode 8 helped a lot for my election.
So for those people who didn't get a chance to look at episode 8, although they're all available on bctv.org, let's go over a few things that you said. First off, how long have you been involved in Rotary?
I've been in Rotary for 30 years now, Marty.
30 years, okay. And do you remember why you joined?
My boss at the time, Jerry Sears, invited me to a meeting, and it was an episode following a lot of community service for my family. I was a professional in the Boy Scouts and getting off a stint there. And when I got to the meeting, it became a very easy decision. The meeting was fun, it was lively, and the dedication to the community was very evident. So it seemed like a very natural fit, easy decision to join.
Terrific. Well, and you've been a very active member and really a pleasure to be with as a fellow Rotarian. So let's break it down a little bit. Rotary International is involved with several global projects, notably providing clean water, sanitation, hygiene. How has the Brattleboro Rotary Club participated in these global efforts?
You're right, Marty, that the Rotary International has a lot of different missions. And there's a lot of different projects going on all the time. It helps thousands of people in 1,000 different areas. I would say that our legacy for our club is our efforts in clean water. Back in the 1990s, Peter Abel was a member of our club, and at a board meeting, I distinctly remember him pushing hard that we get involved on an international scale and to help out El Salvador after their Civil War. After a few medical missions down there, it became evident that clean water was a need for that area. We went through a lot of trials, had input and some design from the Dartmouth College grad students, and they came up with a very inexpensive, very effective design for providing clean water. We took that design, we used it in a couple of countries in Central America. One thing happened after another, the idea caught on, it grew. The final outcome was an organization called Pure Water for the World. It's dedicated for providing clean water and sanitary means to particularly rural or disaster-hit areas. Very effective, and we're very proud that it really started in our club to come off to such a large worldwide event at this point.
That's something that really helped put the Brattleboro Rotary Club, on the map, so to speak. But are you involved in anything else internationally?
Marty, you were instrumental in starting our club, knowing more about Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota, and we've helped that Indian reservation on different fronts over the years. We've helped provide better communication by improving their radio systems, have provided computer systems for their area, have provided raw materials for their natively made quilts. So we've been quite involved with Pine Ridge. This last summer, our member Rob Spieler was involved with a repeating group going out to South Dakota to another location. And their mission was to bring teenagers out for awareness and to directly help Indian reservation, and particularly provide children with a summer camp type atmosphere, as well as doing other improvements to the reservation.
Now, again, what makes it international is when we're talking about the Lakota Sioux, that's the sovereign nation of the Lakota Sioux, so there's international, even though it's located in South Dakota. Closer to home, locally, there's a number of projects that Brattleboro Rotary Club gets involved in. Can you talk a little bit about those projects?
Our club has been around for 60 years, so there's been a lot of different projects we've done over the years. We've done a lot of individual, larger projects at Memorial Park. We've helped with creating the water park at the local pool there. We've secured snowmaking equipment for the skiing season for Memorial Park. We've helped with improvements at the ice rink. We built a platform onto the Kiwanis shelter at the top. 2 years ago, we started with the Sunrise Club. I'm sure Marcy will tell us more about that, in creating a disc golf course. We're still working on that disc golf course, expanding it from 13 to 18 holes, and that's in the progress now, and other improvements. We've been involved with local hands-on projects, such as most recently we were painting at the Brattleboro Retreat, and also painting at the Turning Point building. We have a lot of fundraisers that we do locally. Coming right up on October 14th, the Sunday, we have a disc golf tournament. And for more information, you can go to www.chuckforcharity.com and register to participate or to help sponsor the tournament itself.
Now, is that the club's biggest fundraiser?
Our biggest fundraiser is the Brattleboro Rotary Golf Tournament.
Ah.
And our golf tournament was started in the 1980s by Hank Olson. He was an avid golfer, well known in the area. In the 1990s, Kathy Coonan and some other Rotarians really brought up the level of the tournament to become our largest fundraiser. In the past year, Gina Patterson was the chairperson, and we raised money to help support the Brattleboro Memorial Hospital and other local community endeavors, as well as put money into our own scholarship foundation, the Brattleboro Rotary Foundation.
So the Gateway Foundation, which is part of the Brattleboro Rotary Club, we're actually one of the largest providers of scholarships for each year. Do you know how that came about?
In the mid-1980s, a group of our Rotarians got together and decided to help out graduating seniors with their college expenses. They created this Gateway Foundation. Over the years, businesses and individuals have been generous, and we've made that foundation a real working economic basis for giving away scholarships. Annually, our Christmas tree sales that we have been doing for 40 years or more, the net proceeds go to the foundation for scholarships. This year, a portion of the net proceeds from the golf tournament are going to the foundation as well. This current year, we donated 6 different scholarships to high school students. We also gave away in January a scholarship to a returning CCV student that was active in the medical field. In total this year, we gave away $19,000 in scholarships.
That's fantastic. And that scholarship at CCV was named for a dear member of ours, Jesse Coram, who it was very exciting to be able to have that scholarship. And we've given away 4 of those, and all 4 of those students have remained in the area. So it was not only good for them, but it's also been good for our local economy. We're doing so much, but we're always looking for new members. You know, here's an opportunity. Why should someone join the Brattleboro Rotary Club? Elevator speech, go ahead.
I think when someone considers joining a service club, there's a lot of reasons. The reasons that we often hear from new members coming into our Rotary Club is, number one, giving back to the local community. Right after that is friendships of people they already know or would like to know. Fellowship, there's a lot of fun that goes on with this group. And some people note international project support. So there's those areas are the main reasons that most people join, and they're all great reasons. I think a different perspective I've had in the last few months as president is how well-oiled of organization we are. We have a lot of very dedicated Rotarians. They take their responsibilities very serious. They live up to their obligations every single time. Rotarians follow through with tasks when they're asked to do tasks. When something isn't going right or could be better, a Rotarian will go ahead and make great things out of what isn't as good as it could be. Time and time again that happens, and I find it very rewarding to see that and be part of it. It's great to be active in the local community, and you join our club and you will be active in the community. I think another aspect of this, though, is not only what we do, but how we do it. We do a great job at carrying out the tasks. I'm very proud of my club and what the individual members do. If you're interested in Rotary, I urge you to reach out to a current Rotarian or show up at our doorstep noontime at the American Legion in Brattleboro, Vermont.
So last question for you, Bill. You're president. Your presidency ends next year, in June 30th of next year. What do you think is, what are you shooting for? When we remember the Bill presidency, what accomplishment do you want us to remember?
I think a strong club really gives us a foundation to be a real asset to the community. And I think that the aspects of having a club that is warm and inviting is important for having memberships grow and for keeping people. So I'd like to be known for a club that is easy to come to, easy to serve, and you enjoy doing whatever we're doing.
Terrific. Well, Bill, thanks for taking the time to come on the show. And you survived for the second time.
Thank you, Marty.
We'll be right back with our guest, Marcy Caulkins from Sunrise Rotary. But first, this brief message from Rotary International. Be right back.
What is Rotary? Rotary International is an international service organization whose purpose is to bring together business and professional leaders in order to provide humanitarian services, encourage high ethical standards in all vocations, and to advance goodwill and peace around the world. It's a secular organization open to all people, regardless of race, color, creed, religion, gender, or political preference. There are over 34,000 clubs worldwide, and over 1.2 million individuals, called Rotarians, have joined these clubs. The Rotarians' primary motto is service above self. Rotarians usually gather weekly for breakfast, lunch, or dinner to fulfill their first guiding principle: to develop friendships as an opportunity for service. Interested in joining Rotary? Then please visit Rotary.org and go to Club Finder on the menu. Or you can click the link below to learn more about your Rotary Club.
Welcome back to episode 10 of Rotary Cares, a monthly show that demystifies Rotary International. Our guest is Marcy Caulkins, president of the Brattleboro Sunrise Rotary Club. Welcome, Marcy.
Thank you, Marty. Happy to be here.
So let's, tough questions I'm going to ask you now. Ready?
All right.
First one, how long have you been a member of Rotary?
I've been Rotarian about 16 years now. I started in a different club, in the Bellows Falls Club, before moving to Brattleboro.
Oh, you know, factoid, the Bellows Falls Club
Is the parent.
spawned the Brattleboro Rotary Club.
Absolutely.
And the Brattleboro Rotary Club spawned
us.
Well, we're all together.
I'm like my own grandchild.
There you go. So, do you remember 16 years ago, why did you join Rotary?
Well, 16 years ago, I had just moved to Vermont and got a job, and much like Bill, my boss said, "Hey, you have to go join Rotary." Except he didn't take me. He found someone else to take me and welcome me into the club, and here I am.
Oh.
I just stayed. I enjoyed the organization. I enjoyed being a part of the community, finding out what was going on in the community, and I just think Rotary is a fantastic organization.
Okay, that's great. So your boss told you to join. You joined, but you've stayed a member. That's a good thing.
Yes.
That speaks a lot about Rotary. So we were talking about Rotary International.
Right.
And some global projects. One big project that Rotary works on is Polio Plus, to eradicate polio. Your club does some international work. What kind of things does Sunrise do?
When it comes to the big Rotary projects like Polio Plus or Clean Water or another of our favorites is Shelter Box, we mostly do donations. We do have a relationship with someone in Honduras and San Pedro Sula, and we sponsor every year a scholarship for a student who is then able to come down out of the mountains, stay in town for the school week and go to school, attend school, therefore learning business, learning management, and being able to become a self-sustaining individual, which ultimately is the kind of thing that'll ripple down and benefit an entire community. So that's one thing we do.
And the way that you do that is, I think, is pretty unique. I had the honor of being at your club yesterday, and I learned about these coffee. You're selling coffee.
Yes, we sell organic Honduran coffee, very delicious, and it's $12 a bag, and half of that goes to cover the cost of the coffee. The other half goes to cover the scholarship for the student.
And it's great the way you're able to leverage that to help the student. That's
Yes.
really something that Rotary is very good at.
Right.
Now locally, the club is very active. What kind of projects do you do locally?
Right now, our biggest project has been spearheaded by a group of new members. We have a wonderful group of new members who are very enthusiastic, and they spoke with the Turning Point Center about what they needed, and they needed a pergola. They had wanted a pergola as part of their outdoor space to create this nice, warm, welcoming space outside. The new member group put their heads together, thought this would be great as part of an overall flat street revitalization project to breathe some new life into a little bit of a downtrodden area in town. They roped in a local neighborhood organization, and for the past couple of weekends, they've been prepping to build this pergola, and the whole thing goes together this Saturday. So that's really pretty exciting. They've had a number of different volunteers, both from, not only from Rotary, but also from Turning Point, as well as the local neighborhood. So it's nice to see that kind of involvement. That's the kind of thing we love to foster.
Well, that's just one of the projects.
That is just one thing.
Weren't you, I read somewhere that you also do a lot of barbecuing.
Yes, our club is known for doing the grilling at various events. We have grilled for Touch a Truck, for the hospitals, big fundraiser, We've grilled for Camp for a Common Cause, and most recently we did for the school backpack thing
Yeah.
that happened right at the start of school.
Well, it's really fantastic. And the other thing that's really nice is a lot of projects. The two clubs work together, and your folks come and grill for our when we had
Car
the
show.
car show. And I also think that there was another project the disc golf.
Yes.
Again, thank you for doing that. So what's really nice is the two clubs, between us, we have about 120 members.
A lot of manpower.
And
manpower.
Person power. And what's really nice about that is we're able to accomplish so much for the local community. Now, the other thing that you do is you have a big fundraiser for scholarships as well.
Right.
What's that about?
That would be our 3-on-3 basketball tournament. That happens every March as we're getting excited for March Madness. Features, we take on adult teams, we take high school teams, men's and women's. We always are hoping to recruit more women's teams because that always seems to lag a little bit behind. That fundraiser typically raises us $10,000 to $12,000 that goes towards scholarships.
So now if you think about what Bill was talking about and you add what Sunrise is doing, that's almost $30,000 a year going for local scholarships.
Which is awesome.
That's pretty good. I think one of the things that you're doing when you start adding up the hours and all the money that we're putting a lot of money locally, which is a really good thing, and all the money goes locally, which is good. Now, what do you think? Same question I asked Bill. Membership, growing the club is always a good thing. Why should someone join Brattleboro Sunrise Rotary Club?
Because it's the best reason to get out of bed on a Wednesday morning.
Yeah, those eggs are really good.
The eggs are good, the company's good, it's a lot of fun, we usually have some good laughs, sometimes slightly at each other's expenses, but it's because we love them.
Well, it's
all in good fun.
So here you are, president of the Sunrise Rotary Club, and what do you see when you were thinking about becoming president, and then you went through the PETS, the president-elect training, and then you became the president? What did you hope to accomplish as president of the Brattleboro Sunrise Rotary Club?
The one thing I would really like to add into our club is the idea of in-meeting service projects, which are just little projects that can be accomplished during the meeting time, where everyone can kind of get their hands on and do something, so that everyone gets involved and everyone feels connected. One example of this kind of project is the idea of making birthday kits for food shelves, and that would be making maybe a gift bag with a box of cake mix, some frosting, some candles, maybe some streamers. And so typically when people have done these, they're like an assembly line kind of thing, and people take turns stuffing bags and creating these kinds of kits. And that's just one example. It has to be the kind of thing you can accomplish in an hour. So it's not going to be a major thing, but the idea is to get people involved in that way. It would also be really, really fun to get family involved in that as well. It'd be a good day to bring the kids.
Oh, that sounds like that's a great idea. Something that I also wanted to ask you. When I drive into Brattleboro, I see a sign that you're maintaining a Rotary. Yeah. Which is a wonderful thing as well. Is that something that your club does?
Yeah, our club maintains a couple of small gardens in the islands up by
Main Street.
Yeah, on the triangle.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
And so keep those gardens clean, keep them pretty, and
that's
it's another
fantastic.
nice thing to beautify the community. And
now another thing that our clubs are doing together, we just raised some money for the Winston Prouty Early Learning Express.
Yes.
And I think
I've seen that bus drive around.
And right there on the bus
Rotary.
is our wheel, which hopefully more people will learn about it. But that's an opportunity on in terms of Rotary literacy, bringing books to kids outside
Right.
of being able to go to the library. So there's a lot of collaboration that goes into the clubs, and it's really great to continue to do that. All right, last question for you. What is the best thing for you about being a Rotarian?
Really, my favorite part about Rotary is the fact that I'm connected to people all over the world. I could travel just about anywhere in this world, find a Rotary club, walk in, and have friends waiting to meet me.
Wow.
And I think that's such a powerful thing, because when I stop and think about when there's a disaster somewhere, if we want to help, well, we find a club there and say, hey, what do you need? And now this club is on the ground, instead of us just saying, well, we're going to send a bunch of toothpaste. Then they don't need that. They say, well, we need this, and we'll help you distribute it. Being able to make those kinds of connections across the world, not only for just personal, but also to be able to help.
And as we said, there's 35,000 clubs, so
Everywhere.
there's a Rotarian somewhere. That's really good. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to be on the show. I also want to thank our guest, Bill Vermouth, and I want a shout out to Sunrise Rotarian Kevin Yeager for doing all the magic behind the scenes here, behind the camera. I want to thank BCTV and especially Brian Bashaw for bringing us or helping us bring this show to you. If you have any questions, concerns, or ideas for a future show, send them to info@BrattleboroRotaryClub.org. That's info@BrattleboroRotaryClub.org. I'm Marty Cohn. Thanks for watching.